It's Read Me Speak Me time. I just said on Twitter that I was going to write something, write a story, make me lunch, and then do Read Me Speak Me. However, I've written my story, although it needs an edit before I'll get it online. And rather than make my lunch next, I'd carry on with the creative vibe because sausage and chips doesn't require much creativity. So I'll just go with the Read Me Speak Me. And there is no tankard today, yet anyway. Coffee, thank you, cheers. The tankard will be back next week, I'm sure. So let's get on with the Read Me Speak Me. It is a segment of The Hunted by Sean McGillis. Details on Twitter there-ish. Bloody hell, the rain's getting a bit iffy out there. I think I need another coffee. Right, anyway. The Hunted. The sky was beginning to darken, and winds began whipping around the lodge. Where were the light switches? Did they use freaking candles for lighting? Banner thought he heard something howling outside. Whether it was an animal or the wind, he wasn't certain. The only thing he was sure of was that he was beginning to get a case of the willies, something that hadn't happened since he was a small child. He decided to head for the kitchen while he could still see. Once there, he began rummaging through the cupboards. As promised, there was plenty of liquor. He spied a fine bottle of scotch, grabbed it, and found a glass. He opened the freezer and, to his great pleasure, saw an ice cube tray as well. Glass, mostly full of liquor, he added an ice cube for good measure. The sun had set, and here twilight was a cruel, humourless joke. Carefully, he navigated from the kitchen to his room. Sitting on the bed, sipping his drink, he felt his tension melt away. This truly was a fitting nightcap to a spectacularly strange day, unlike any he had lived before. Scotch gone, he looked at his Cartier. Barely past 8, but it was pitch black and he was alone in the sticks. Time for bed. He'd be up bright and early to introduce himself to whoever was in charge of this sad excuse for a lodge. Maybe get a reduced rate or outright refund in exchange for a lukewarm review. It was frigid in the lodge, bitterly so. Although the bed did have blankets, they were rather thin. The wolfskin on the wall looked substantial and warm. In Banner's world, there was no such thing as magic. It was bullshit, illogical, and therefore it didn't exist. Old lore and legends filled him with scorn. Removing it from the wall required no second thought. He fell asleep with the coarse fur pulled up to his chin. There you go. I should have done that with a whiskey. Not a tankard full of whiskey, but a whiskey. See you next week.